The Silent Watchers. Dr. Elena Santos stood motionless in the observation deck of Helios Station, her dark eyes fixed on the quantum sensor array that had become humanity's greatest secret. 200 kilometers below, Earth rotated serenely, its inhabitants blissfully unaware of what her team had discovered just hours ago. The massive display before her showed thousands of neural map signals streaming in from probes scattered throughout the galaxy. Probes that officially didn't exist. "Doctor, you need to see this." Marcus Chen, her chief analyst, pulled up a holographic projection of Sector 7. The Concordiate fleet is mobilizing. All 67 dreadnoughts, plus support vessels. Elena's fingers danced through the projection, expanding the view. The Concordiate, a federation of 7 spacefaring species, had never amassed their full military strength before. Their ships gleamed like polished obsidian in the light of distant stars, each one bristling with what they believed to be the most advanced weapons in known space. "Track their trajectory," she ordered, though she already suspected their destination. The projection shifted, showing a curved line that intersected perfectly with Earth's solar system. Marcus swallowed hard. Arrival estimated in 38 days. They're running their drives at full capacity, and still using standard Hawking manifolds for FTL. Elena allowed herself a small smile. They haven't detected our quantum corridor network, then. For 3 centuries, humanity had maintained the greatest deception in galactic history. While other species raced to develop faster ships and bigger weapons, Earth had taken a different approach. Instead of revealing their technological advances, they had hidden them, creating a facade of a primitive civilization barely capable of reaching their own moon. "Security Council is convening in 5 minutes, Marcus reminded her. "They'll want your assessment." Elena nodded, gathering her thoughts. The quantum sensors had revealed something else, something that explained the Concordiate's sudden mobilization. Their latest deep space scan had detected Earth's carefully hidden quantum technology. But instead of recognizing it for what it was, they had misinterpreted it as signs of a valuable and rare resource. They thought they had found a primitive world rich with naturally occurring quantum particles. They were coming to harvest Earth, not realizing they were walking into the most sophisticated defensive network ever created. "Send word to Admiral Chen," Elena said, straightening her uniform. "Tell her Operation Lighthouse is now active." Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum corridors began to pulse with energy as humanity's real fleet stirred to life. Vessels that made the Concordiate's dreadnoughts look like ancient sailing ships emerged from dimensional pockets where they had waited for centuries. Each ship was a testament to human ingenuity, powered by controlled quantum singularities, armed with weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics in localized space, and crewed by humans who had evolved alongside their AI partners. The Security Council chamber materialized around Elena as she stepped through a quantum portal. 50 of humanity's leaders sat in a circular arrangement, their faces illuminated by the soft blue glow of holographic displays. Above them, a real-time representation of the approaching Concordiate fleet hung like a sword of Damocles. "Dr. Santos," Council President Azama acknowledged her arrival. "Your report, please." Elena took a deep breath. "Distinguished members of the Council, 300 years ago, our ancestors made a choice. When they first detected signs of alien civilizations, they chose not to announce humanity's presence. Instead, they built in secret, developed in secret, and watched in secret. That choice has given us an advantage no amount of direct military power could match: the element of surprise." She gestured, and a holographic display shifted to show humanity's true fleet emerging from quantum space. Over 10,000 ships, each one representing the pinnacle of human achievement in science and engineering. The Concordiate believes they are approaching a primitive world ripe for conquest. What they'll find instead is a civilization that has spent centuries preparing for this exact moment. They see us as prey, but they've never faced a species that evolved as apex predators. They believe their technology is superior, but they've never encountered quantum engineering that borders on the impossible. President Azama leaned forward. And your recommendation? We maintain the deception until the last possible moment. Let them commit their entire fleet. Let them think victory is certain. And then, Elena's eyes hardened. Then we show them why humanity chose to hide not out of fear, but out of strategy. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had spent centuries playing the long game, and now the endgame was approaching. The Concordia thought they were about to claim a primitive world as a colony. Instead, they were about to learn why Earth's most ancient myths always warned about waking sleeping giants. Marcus's voice came through Elena's quantum link, urgent and controlled. Doctor, initial dispersal pattern of their fleet suggests they're planning a standard harvesting operation. They're not even bothering with full combat formations. Perfect. Elena responded, allowing herself another small smile. Let them come in overconfident. It's time to show the galaxy why humanity chose to be the silent watchers, and why that silence was never about fear. As she spoke, quantum corridors throughout the solar system pulsed with energy, ready to unleash humanity's true power. The greatest deception in galactic history was about to end, and a new chapter in human history was about to begin. One that would reshape the very fabric of galactic civilization. Project Prometheus. Deep within Jupiter's atmosphere, where storms raged eternal and pressure could crush conventional starships like tin cans, humanity's greatest achievement waited. Admiral Sarah Chen watched through quantum-enhanced viewing fields as the last of her fleet took position. The massive construction yards of Project Prometheus stretched for thousands of kilometers, hidden from prying eyes by the gas giants, swirling clouds, and quantum distortion fields. Status report on the Hyperion, she demanded, her weathered face illuminated by the soft glow of floating displays. Her XO, Commander David Okafor, pulled up the specifications of their flagship. The quantum core is stabilized at 99.8% efficiency. All 300 blade ships are docked and ready for deployment. AI integration is complete. The Hyperion wasn't just a warship. It was the culmination of 3 centuries of hidden human advancement. Its hull was composed of self-repairing quantum matrices that could adapt to any form of attack. Its weapon systems could literally rewrite the laws of physics within localized spaces. But its true power lay in its revolutionary approach to warfare. Update from Dr. Santos at Helios Station, David announced. The Concordiate fleet has maintained course. They're broadcasting harvest protocols on all standard channels. Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. The Concordiate's harvest protocols were meant to intimidate primitive civilizations into surrendering their resources without a fight. They had no idea they were sailing into the most sophisticated trap ever conceived. Signal the Lazarus Array, she ordered. Throughout the solar system, quantum sensors disguised as space debris activated, beginning the most crucial phase of humanity's long-term strategy. The Concordiate ships would be trapped the moment they emerged from their primitive FTL drives. 3 centuries ago, humanity had discovered that quantum fields could be used to create localized pockets of altered spacetime. While other species focused on building bigger ships and more powerful weapons, Earth had turned the entire solar system into one massive quantum web. Admiral, David's voice carried a note of concern. We're detecting increased chatter among the Concordiate fleet. Their long-range sensors might have picked up something. Sarah moved through the holographic displays, studying the incoming data. No, they're excited. Their sensors are detecting exactly what we want them to. False quantum signatures that make Earth look like a pristine harvest world. The deception went deeper than just hiding humanity's true capabilities. They had spent centuries crafting a specific technological signature that would be irresistible to any spacefaring civilization. The Concordia thought they were about to claim the greatest prize in their history. Instead, they were about to become an object lesson in why appearances could be deceiving. All ships, begin quantum synchronization, Sarah commanded. Across the hidden shipyards, thousands of vessels powered up their cores in perfect harmony. The quantum web hummed with potential energy, ready to trap any ship that didn't carry the specific temporal signature of human vessels. Message from the Security Council. David reported. They're officially activating the Prometheus Protocol. All civilian quantum tech is going dark. Sarah nodded. Across Earth and its colonies, billions of people were about to experience what would appear to be a massive technological regression. Quantum-powered devices would shut down, replaced by carefully maintained backup systems that would make Earth appear as technologically primitive as the Concordia expected. Status of the blade ships. All 300 are ready, Admiral. The AI cores are fully integrated with their human pilots. David paused, then added, the synchronicity rates are higher than we've ever achieved in simulations. The blade ships represented another uniquely human approach to space warfare. Instead of building massive dreadnoughts like the Concordia, humanity had developed smaller, impossibly maneuverable ships that operated in perfect harmony. Each was piloted by a human-AI partnership that could react faster than thought, executing maneuvers that would kill an unaugmented crew. The Concordia believes quantity is quality, Sarah mused, watching her fleet's quantum signatures pulse in perfect rhythm. They're about to learn that humanity took a different path. Throughout the shipyards, crews made final preparations. Unlike the rigid hierarchy of the Concordia, human ships operated on a hybrid structure that maximized both individual initiative and collective action. Every crew member was enhanced with quantum-linked neural interfaces that allowed them to think and react as one when needed, while maintaining their individual creativity and decision-making capabilities. Signal from Earth Defense Command, David announced. The Quantum Corridor network is primed and ready. We can deploy the entire fleet to any point in the solar system within microseconds. Sarah studied the tactical display one final time. The Concordia fleet was maintaining their arrogant approach formation, clearly expecting no resistance. Their ships were arranged in the standard harvest configuration. Dreadnoughts in the center, surrounded by rings of support vessels. It was a formation designed to intimidate primitive civilizations into immediate surrender. Send word to all ships, she ordered. Operation Lighthouse is now in its final phase. When the Concordia arrives, they'll find out why humanity chose to be the hunters rather than the hunted. As if in response, the quantum web pulsed with power, ready to spring the trap that had been 3 centuries in the making. The greatest deception in galactic history was about to reach its climax, and the Concordia was sailing straight into it, blind to the fact that their prey had become the predator long ago. The shield falls. High Commander Vexterra of the Concordia stood on the command deck of the dreadnought Eternal Victory, his 4 arms moving in practiced gestures as he studied the holographic display of the primitive world before him. Earth's pitiful defensive satellites and crude space stations hung in orbit like toys, waiting to be swept aside. All harvest ships report ready, High Commander, his second, Kilvor, announced. The primitives appear to be attempting communication using electromagnetic waves. Vexterra's facial ridges rippled with amusement. The natives were so primitive they hadn't even mastered quantum communications. This would be the easiest harvest operation in his distinguished career. Begin the standard intimidation protocol, he ordered. Show them our. The command died in his throat as every sensor on his flagship suddenly screamed warnings. The space around Earth rippled like disturbed water, and the primitive satellites and stations simply vanish, replaced by something impossible. High Commander. Kilvor's voice cracked with panic. Quantum anomalies detected throughout the system. Our long-range sensors are. They're being rewritten somehow. Vexterra stared in disbelief as Earth's entire solar system transformed before his eyes. The quantum signatures they had detected, the ones that had prompted this harvest operation, weren't natural resources at all. They were parts of a vast, interconnected web of technology far beyond anything the Concordia had ever encountered. Multiple ships detected, another officer shouted. They're everywhere. The holographic display struggled to make sense of what it was showing. Thousands of vessels were appearing from what seemed to be folded space itself, their designs unlike anything in the Concordia database. But what truly chilled Vexterra's blood was their movement. The ships moved with impossible precision, as if they were all parts of a single vast organism. "Incoming transmission," Kilvor reported, his hands trembling slightly. It's using our secure quantum channels." "That's impossible." "The encryption." "Put it through," Vexterra ordered, fighting to keep his voice steady. A human female appeared on the main display. Unlike the primitive radio signals they had been receiving, this transmission was crystal clear, the quantum resolution perfect. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. You have entered restricted space with hostile intent. Your vessels are now trapped within our quantum web. Suggest you consider your next actions very carefully." Vexterra stood slowly, his four arms moving in a gesture of respect that would have been unthinkable a month ago. "The Concordiat acknowledges its errors," he declared. "We came to Earth seeking resources to harvest. Instead, we found something far more valuable, a lesson in true advancement." Elena shared a knowing look with Admiral Chen through their quantum link. This was what they had truly been building toward all those centuries, not just technological superiority, but the wisdom to use it properly. "Earth's isolation is over," Chen announced. "But our principles remain unchanged. We will not dominate, but we will not submit. We will not conquer, but we will not stand idle while others are conquered. The quantum web that once hid our achievements will now connect us all, creating a galaxy where advancement comes through cooperation rather than competition." As if in response to her words, the quantum web rippled with new energy patterns. Throughout the chamber, representatives watched in awe as their quantum terminals activated, giving them their first true glimpse of humanity's gift to the galaxy, a technology that could either unite or divide, depending on how it was used. "Welcome," Chen concluded, "to a new dawn for all civilizations. The time for hiding is over. The time for growth, true growth, has begun." As the chamber erupted in discussion, Elena reflected on the long path that had led to this moment. Humanity had spent centuries preparing for a war, only to find a way to prevent it entirely. They had developed the ultimate weapons, only to transform them into tools for peace. The galaxy was changing, not through force or conquest, but through the patient application of human ingenuity. The greatest deception in history had become the greatest revelation, and the future it promised was brighter than anyone could have imagined. The Concordia dreadnoughts activated their drives simultaneously, their massive engines straining against the quantum web. But instead of breaking free, they found themselves trapped in overlapping fields of altered spacetime. The more power they poured into their engines, the more thoroughly they became entangled in humanity's trap. Multiple Concordiat vessels attempting to launch fighter craft, Marcus announced. "They're deploying their entire close-range arsenal." "Perfect," Elena responded. "Activate the phase shields." The blade ship's quantum matrices pulsed in perfect rhythm, creating overlapping fields that made them partially exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The Concordiat fighters' weapons passed harmlessly through them, hitting nothing but empty space where solid ships had appeared to be. Admiral Chen's voice came through the quantum link again. "Time to show them why we chose quality over quantity. Dr. Santos, you may proceed with the capture protocol." Elena's fingers danced through the holographic controls as she initiated humanity's most revolutionary combat system. The blade ships began moving in complex patterns, their quantum drives creating carefully calculated interference patterns. Where these patterns intersected, space itself began to fold. "Target their command ships first," she ordered. "Let's show them what happens when you underestimate human creativity." The blade ships moved with impossible precision, their human pilots and AI cores working in perfect synchronization. Where three or more quantum interference patterns intersected, localized bubbles of altered spacetime formed around Concordiat vessels. Inside these bubbles, the laws of physics could be selectively rewritten. "First bubble stabilize," Marcus reported with professional calm. "Concordiat Dreadnought Eternal Victory is experiencing total systems failure. Their quantum core is, they can't even maintain standard atomic bonds in there. One by one, the mighty ships of the Concordiate fleet found themselves trapped in pockets of space where their technology simply couldn't function. Weapons refused to fire, shields collapsed, and even their hull materials began to lose cohesion. It wasn't destruction, it was something far more sophisticated. "Message from High Commander Vexterra," Marcus announced. He's requesting terms. Elena shared a look with Admiral Chen through their quantum link. This was the moment they had spent centuries preparing for. Not just victory, but a demonstration that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what humanity was capable of. "Open a channel to all Concordiate vessels," Chen ordered. "Show them the recording from their outer colonies." The quantum network came alive with images from across Concordiate space. While their main fleet had been approaching Earth, humanity's stealth ships had systematically disabled every Concordiate weapons platform, defensive installation, and military shipyard in their territory. Not through destruction, but through the selective manipulation of physical laws within localized spaces. "Your empire wasn't built on technological superiority," Elena spoke to the trapped Concordiate commanders. "It was built on the assumption that bigger meant better, that quantity would always triumph over quality. Today, that assumption ends." The blade ships continued their dance through space, each movement precisely calculated to maintain the quantum bubbles that held the Concordiate fleet helpless. It wasn't just a victory, it was a revolution in warfare itself. Humanity had developed beyond the need for traditional combat, moving instead to the selective control of reality itself. "Your ships will be released," Admiral Chen informed the Concordiate commanders, "but not before we've installed our own quantum regulators in your systems. From now on, any attempt to use your technology for conquest will result in immediate shutdown. The era of harvest operations is over." Elena watched as the mighty Concordiate fleet hung powerless in space, their commanders forced to confront a civilization that had completely transcended their understanding of warfare. Humanity hadn't just prepared for this moment. They had revolutionized the very nature of space combat, while their enemies remained blind to their true capabilities. The quantum web pulsed one final time, its energy patterns shifting to begin the process of establishing a new order in the galaxy. The age of conquest was ending, replaced by something far more interesting, an era where humanity's long-hidden achievements would reshape the very foundation of galactic civilization. A new dawn. 1 month after the Concordiate's failed harvest operation, the Great Hall of the newly established Galactic Council hummed with nervous energy. Representatives from 37 spacefaring civilizations gathered in the quantum-architected chamber floating in Earth orbit, each coming to terms with the revelation that had shaken their understanding of the cosmic order. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the central podium, her uniform gleaming under the soft light of holographic displays that showed the ongoing transformation of galactic society. Behind her, Earth rotated serenely, no longer hiding its true nature. The quantum web that had once concealed humanity's achievements now served as the foundation for a new interstellar transportation network. "The age of conquest is over," she declared, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. "But what replaces it is up to all of us." In the front row, High Commander Vexterra sat with the other Concordiate representatives, their once proud bearing now tempered by humility. The past month had shown them just how thoroughly they had misunderstood humanity's capabilities. 3 centuries ago, humanity made a choice, Chen continued. "When we first detected alien civilizations, we could have revealed ourselves immediately. We could have rushed to join the galactic community. Instead, we watched. We learned. And what we saw troubled us deeply." The holographic displays shifted to show recordings of various harvest operations conducted throughout the galaxy. Scenes of stronger civilizations subjugating the weak, of resources stripped from worlds unable to defend themselves. "We chose a different path. While others built empires through force, we built understanding through patience. While others sought to dominate space, we learned to work with it. The quantum technology that so many thought was impossible. It came from questioning our most basic assumptions about reality itself. Dr. Elena Santos, seated among Earth's delegation, watched the reactions of the alien representatives. Some showed fear, others curiosity, but all shared a common expression of dawning comprehension. The Concordiate's attempt to harvest Earth was not just defeated, Chen explained. It was transformed into an opportunity for galactic renewal. The quantum regulators we installed in their ships don't just prevent aggression. They offer a path to something greater. The displays changed again, showing the new quantum corridor network extending throughout known space. What had once been humanity's secret weapon was becoming the foundation for a new era of galactic cooperation. Every civilization here has something unique to offer. Chen's voice softened. The Concordiate's crystal matrix technology, combined with our quantum manipulation, has already opened new frontiers in spatial engineering. The Xanthari understanding of biological systems, paired with our AI integration techniques, promises medical breakthroughs we're only beginning to understand. From her seat, Elena watched as the tension in the chamber gradually transformed into something else: hope. The representatives were beginning to understand that humanity's revelation wasn't just about showing superior force. It was about demonstrating a better way forward. We hid our true nature not out of fear, Chen continued, but because we needed time. Time to develop technology that could end wars before they began. Time to create systems that could enforce peace without destroying freedom. Time to prove that the strongest civilizations aren't those that conquer others, but those that lift others up. The quantum web pulsed softly, its energy patterns now visible to all. What had once been humanity's greatest secret was becoming the galaxy's greatest gift. A network that could unite civilizations instead of dividing them. The quantum regulators in your ships aren't just restraints, Chen explained. They're invitations. Each one contains the basic principles of quantum manipulation technology. As your civilizations demonstrate a commitment to peaceful cooperation, more of this knowledge will be unlocked. Not given freely, but earned through actions. Vexterra's ridges flattened in anger. You dare threaten the Concordiate. Your deception will not save you from. His words were cut off as one of his escort ships simply ceased to exist. There was no explosion, no debris. It simply winked out of reality as if it had never been there. That was a warning shot. Admiral Chen's voice was calm, almost gentle. Your vessel was relocated to a holding dimension. Its crew is unharmed, but they won't be returning to this space-time until we allow it. Impossible, Vexterra whispered, but the sensor readings didn't lie. The humans hadn't just matched Concordiate technology. They had surpassed it in ways he couldn't even comprehend. The space around his fleet began to crystallize as the quantum web tightened. Smaller human vessels, blade ships, according to his tactical display, moved with fluid grace through the formation, their quantum signatures pulsing in perfect synchronization. Your ships are currently enclosed in a localized quantum field, Chen continued. Your weapons, your drives, even your communication systems will only function if we allow them to. The physics within that field are now under our control. As if to demonstrate, every weapon system on the Eternal Victory powered down simultaneously. Vexterra watched in horror as his mighty dreadnought systems were switched off one by one, not by any attack, but by the very laws of physics being rewritten around them. 3 centuries ago, Chen's voice carried the weight of history. Humanity detected your first harvest operations on the edge of known space. We saw how you treated primitive species, so we made a choice. While you built bigger ships and stronger weapons, we learned to manipulate reality itself. While you conquered through brute force, we developed technology that borders on the mystical. And we hid it all, waiting for the day you would come for Earth. The holographic display showed more human ships emerging from quantum space, each one a testament to technology so advanced it seemed like magic. The blade ships danced through space in impossible patterns, their human pilots and AI cores working in perfect harmony. What do you want? Vexterra finally asked, his former arrogance replaced by the first stirrings of real fear. Want? Chen's expression softened slightly. High Commander, this isn't a negotiation or a demand for surrender. This is a demonstration. For too long, the Concordiat has preyed on societies you deemed primitive. Today that ends. Earth isn't your harvest ground. It's your wake-up call. As if to emphasize her words, quantum corridors began opening throughout the solar system. Through them, Vexterra could see other human fleets, each as large as the one that had trapped his own ships. The deception wasn't just impressive, it was total. Humanity hadn't just hidden their true capabilities, they had orchestrated the greatest strategic misdirection in galactic history. Your crew will be safe, Chen assured him. And once we've discussed the new reality of our relationship, your ships will be released. But first, you're going to watch as we dismantle every assumption the Concordiat has ever made about technological superiority and species hierarchy. The quantum web pulsed once more, and Vexterra realized that the true demonstration was just beginning. Humanity had spent centuries preparing for this moment, and he had sailed his fleet right into their trap, blind to the fact that the primitive world he had come to harvest was actually the most advanced civilization he had ever encountered. Counterstrike. Dr. Elena Santos stood aboard the Hyperion's quantum bridge, watching as humanity's true power unveiled itself across the solar system. The massive display showed hundreds of blade ships moving in perfect synchronization, their quantum signatures weaving a complex dance that was as much art as it was warfare. Begin Phase 2, Admiral Chen's voice carried across the quantum link. Dr. Santos, you have tactical control of the blade ships. Show them what human AI integration can really do. Elena's neural interface pulsed as she connected with the blade ship network. Each vessel was piloted by a human consciousness working in perfect harmony with an AI partner, creating a hybrid intelligence that could react faster than thought. Through her quantum link, she could feel all 300 ships as extensions of herself. Strike pattern Prometheus, she commanded. The blade ships moved instantly, their formations shifting like a murmuration of starlings. Each ship's quantum drive left trails of distorted spacetime, creating a web of altered physics that trapped the Concordiat vessels more thoroughly than any conventional weapon could. Concordiat ships attempting to power up their main drives, Marcus reported from his station. They're trying to force their way through the quantum web. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Let them try.